Fallout 76 has had and still has a lot of problems. I've tried to write this video a lot of different ways over the years, and a lot of reason for that is because when the game came out, it just felt like I was breaking up with someone I loved but didn't love me. Over the past year, I've played Fallout 76 consistently, and now at the time of recording this, I've reached level 123. I've done all the main quests, I've done all the events, I've done a lot of side quests, I've traveled all of West Virginia, and I've experienced everything this game has to offer. And I'm still disappointed. I believe Fallout 76 is one of the most soulless cash grabs in modern gaming, and continues to be a fundamentally broken Fallout experience, even without Preston Garvey. I feel like the best place to start with this video is how Fallout 76 broke my heart. Alright, let's talk about the good stuff. Fallout 76's world is the most beautiful, not at launch, of any Fallout game. The enemies are amazing. The Wendigo, the Grafton, the Honeybeast, the Mole Miner, and the Mega Sloths are so cool.
He's so cool.
The West Virginia folklore was such a good idea to take inspiration from, and it just makes the world so much more fun to explore. I can't believe how well they fit into Fallout. The only one that doesn't really fit is this fucking floating octopus thing. I don't know why or what this thing is doing in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, but it doesn't belong here. Bethesda, go put it in fucking Starfield or something, okay? Also, werewolves. That's all I gotta say about werewolves. The best part of this game is its sense of discovery. I loved walking down every decrepit road, seeing what the next town had to offer me. Seeing what new irradiated monsters I would have to fight is just one of Fallout's best aspects, and this game just fucking home runs it out of the park. I'm getting excited just talking about it. It's Fallout 76's strongest aspect. But also, it's kind of its biggest downside. You see, Fallout 76 overall prioritizes its combat and gameplay over story aspects. So once you reach a high enough level and have done and seen everything the game has to offer, it kind of just can become boring. There's only so many times you can travel down the same decrepit road and feel the same sense of wonder or discovery you felt before. You don't really have this feeling in other Fallouts because you could just restart those games and play the story completely differently. But since story isn't a main aspect in 76, there's no real reason to restart. It's kind of pointless. Which is why I was beyond ecstatic when they announced the Pit was coming to Fallout 76. When this was first announced, I felt this was finally the clean break this game needed. It was finally this game's chance to focus on more story-driven content without the baggage of the main game. Not only that, but I would get more open world to explore, and that sense of wonder would return, and I was pumped. Bethesda released the Pit. Now this could be my lack of research preceding its release, but Bethesda did none of that. Instead, they released 2 linear dungeon levels filled with hundreds of bullet sponges and the most fetch quest storyline ever devised in any video game. The Pit was so disappointing, and it really proved to me that the Fallout 76 devs prioritize boring, repetitive gameplay to keep people involved rather than an actual good story. There's been 3 new events since the Pit. One is hands down the best update in the game's history. I'd give it a 5 out of 10. And the other has been a reskin of past events. And then the last one added 2 new boss enemies and 2 new events. However, the boss enemies are actually just reskins of bosses in another game. The one that matters brought 4 new events to the game and a ton of new building items and weapons, but no new quest or story. In fact, it's been almost 3 years since the last update with a big quest or story. You see, herein lies one of Fallout 76's main problems. I don't think Fallout would fundamentally make a good MMO. Fallout is a role-playing game at heart. That's not to say Fallout hasn't been a good shooter, because it most definitely has been in the past. But taking away the role-playing aspect from Fallout takes away the core of the games. Fallout 3 is a good RPG. Fallout New Vegas is a great RPG. Fallout 4 is a mediocre RPG. Role-playing is baked into Fallout's blood. Even if we look at the first 2 games in the series, they're role-playing games. Look, right there on the box. Post-apocalyptic role-playing game. That one word is what makes Fallout, Fallout. Each one of these games has a story to tell, and it's your choice how to tell that story. And that's what makes Fallout special. Through your character's actions and choices, you can experience any of these games a multitude of different ways. And without a doubt, what makes a good RPG is giving the player the freedom of choice to express themselves. In Fallout 76, you don't have the same liberty, choice, and freedom that the other games give you. While the back of Fallout 76's box may say that, it's just another mediocre looter shooter pretending to be an RPG. Let's take Fallout New Vegas. Every main and side quest has at least 2 different endings, with a bunch of different branching paths in many of these quests, and a bunch of different ways to achieve these endings. Let's take the quest, Come Fly With Me. People in the town of Novak are complaining about feral ghouls wandering in from the local Repcon facility. Upon further inspection, you stumble into a group of ghouls having a standoff with Nightkin, before revealing the ghouls were trying to fix rocket ships and fly them to the great beyond. And the whole quest concludes with you either sending them off into space, or choosing to blow them up, or you can just fucking shoot the main guy in the face. That's an option too, that's always an option. In my opinion, that's a pretty cool and engaging side quest. And it gives the player the freedom to tackle it in any way they see fit. They give you a sense of freedom when interacting with the world. And a lot, if not all, of New Vegas' side quests are like this. The Fallout 76 quest, Crash Landing, a space pilot, or as they call them in Fallout, astronaut, from the old world crashes and lands in the marshes of West Virginia with no knowledge of the bombs dropping and no knowledge that the world ended. This is such a fascinating idea for a Fallout quest until you do it and realize it's just another fetch quest. Like, why? Here's another fetch quest, bitch. Why don't you suck on my mute fruit? And then gives you like fucking 12 fetch quests in a row. I haven't even bothered to do them because it's like, what the fuck, man? And most quests in Fallout 76 are like this too. So many fascinating ideas are just never expanded upon. I mean, a good idea had to die in this game for a fetch quest to happen. Your choices in Fallout 76 don't matter. And it makes the game just feel empty. This is why Fallout New Vegas feels so alive and fun and replayable more than 10 years after it came out. And Fallout 76 is just boring. Of the main quests in Fallout 76, well, out of the 2 I'd consider main, one of them you break into a secret underground vault with one of 2 factions, and the other you decide the whole West Virginian chapter of the Brotherhood's future. Guess from 1 to 10 how much your choice matters. The answer was 0. The first main quest, you have a reputation system that you can gain or lose reputation in. Just like Fallout New Vegas. In Fallout New Vegas, your reputation was a deciding factor on what quests were available to you and if a faction was hostile to you. If you were only doing quests with one faction, eventually all the other factions will want to rip off your face and kill your family. If you killed NPCs from a faction, you lose rep. Not only did this make New Vegas feel like a living, breathing world, but it made the player feel like they were a part of that world. In Fallout 76, the reputations are raiders and settlers. The only thing reputation affects is if a random NPC leaning up against a car is friendly to you or not. Even if you have negative reputation with the faction, you can still just stroll right into their base of operations, you know? Like, you just didn't kill their friends at every opportunity that you had. Like, no, they should be fucking trying to murder me. Even in the main quest, no matter who you choose, there's no negative reputation to be earned, only positive. So then one may ask, what's the point? What's the point of the reputation system? So once you finish this quest, you unlock endgame content and another currency, which is called Gold Billion, which is just another way for the game to get you to grind longer for the same shit. The Brotherhood quest, which I think is by far the best quest in the game, lets you choose whether the Brotherhood opens its doors to the people of Appalachia or closes them, which is really interesting. But after you make that choice, the quest just ends right when it starts to get good. You'd think there would be some change in the world if you choose the Brotherhood to open its arms in Appalachia, but there's just not. Fallout 76 fails at being a good or even mediocre role-playing game because they don't give the player a choice to affect the world around them. But then thinking about it, how the fuck would they even do that? How would that work if there's a million other players making different choices than you would? Just like, please tell me in the comments. I have no idea, because no matter what you say, making Fallout an MMO fundamentally goes against what it is, a role-playing game. My thoughts on this is Fallout 76 would have been better if it was just a co-op RPG. So in this RPG looter shooter, one of the main components, the roleplay, sucks. And the shooting has a lot of problems too. Let's talk about the gameplay loop. Can we talk about the gameplay loop, Mr. House? Thank you. Fallout 76's gameplay is the shooting mechanics of Fallout 4 mixed with the repair system of Fallout 3. In theory, this sounds great. Fallout 3's and New Vegas's repair system made it so that Fallout 3 New Vegas's guns would basically deteriorate slowly over time, but you could repair those weapons with other weapons you find in the wasteland. Pretty good system, right? So while your gun was deteriorating, that cowboy hat you just killed Lucas Sims for, you can also get his gun, which means you could repair your gun with it, making it so even if your weapon breaks, you can use it to repair your hunting rifle. I'm so sorry, Lucas Sims. I like that sheriff outfit though, so fuck you. Not only that, but it happens to work as a good weapon balancing system for guns. Maybe that rare weapon you found that just melts anybody you come across? There's only a few of those in the wasteland, so eventually you're either gonna have to haul ass back to a workbench when it breaks, or bring a second, more common, reliable gun with you. Paired this with a system that scales enemies with your level, and it balances the game really well. And it can make combat fresh, having to switch up or change your gun and stay on your toes in a natural way that isn't frustrating. As I said before, Fallout 76's combat is a ripoff of Fallout 4's, with the weapon repair system of earlier games, and Fallout 4's gunplay is some of the best in any of gaming. It's really the only reason I have like 1,000 hours on it. So all of this sounds pretty good, until you find out all of your guns are held together by fucking scotch tape. Even the best legendary weapons in the game, which are guns with cool and different effects that have the ability to fire fire bullets or explosive bullets or shoot 2 bullets at once, just fucking fall apart faster than a deck of cards. My shitty fucking Create-A-House can be held together by 2 packs of chewed up gum and jizz, but my double shot Gatling laser can't even kill a Mirelurk without ending up in the fucking hospital? Enemies level up to level 100, and guns stop leveling up at level 50, making it mandatory to have one of these legendary weapons to be able to kill things effectively. Special boss enemies, for fucking get it, dude. Those things scale with you past level 100, so you better pack 6 Gatling lasers and a lunchbox, cause it's gonna be a long fight against one of these fucking guys. It wouldn't be so bad if there was some way to repair your gun in the middle of battle, but some sick fuck degenerate got rid of the option to repair your gun with other guns. You cannot repair your gun with other guns, the main building block of the other games. What? You're either gonna have to haul your broken gun away from whatever you're doing to go find a workbench, or you can go into the microtransaction infested Atom shop and just buy repair kits. Most likely, you're gonna buy the repair kits, because if you're in the middle of an event or boss, there's nothing that takes you out of the game more than having to frantically run home, rebuild shit, and then come back, just for it to fall apart again 3 minutes later. That's just bad game design. And don't even get me started on the repair costs. You better hope and pray you have enough screws, or you're just screwed. So I did a test on the durability of my favorite weapon, my 2-shot Gatling laser. I wanted to see how long it would last in a situation people would most use a weapon like this against the Mole Miner boss from Nuka World. I wanted to see how long a gun would rapidly fire without breaking. My 2-shot Gatling laser lasted a total of 54 seconds against a boss enemy, and it totaled about an eighth of his health. That's fucking worthless. The reason this is so bad is because it basically left me without a gun. I had to leave the fight, run all the way down to the Nuka World workbench, repair the gun, then run all the way back just for it to break again. I didn't even end up finishing the event with the Gatling laser. I got tired of it breaking, so I just ended up finishing the boss fight with my hunting rifle. That did literally no damage because all the perks I were using were tailored for the Gatling laser. While the shooting may be fun and may be one of the best parts of the game, the actual durability of the weapons and bosses you're going to fight, and you not being able to switch your perks at the loss of another weapon or another gun type, just shoots the whole weapon system in the fucking face. The worst example of this is when me and Roger started the Queen Scorch Beast event and just couldn't finish it because A, the boss was a bullet sponge, B, our weapons kept breaking, and C, the remaining guns we did have, we didn't have enough perks to go along with them. And if you're asking, well, why didn't you just switch them out mid-fight? Like, dude, do you fucking hear yourself? I was in the middle of a fucking fight. Do you see what I mean? It's not just the boss fights, a lot of the missions are like this too. It's just bullet sponge after bullet sponge, and my gun breaks 3 times during one mission. You guys wonder why I was disappointed with the pit because of shit like this. It makes what would be fun combat into boring, repetitive, just garbage. And it's so stupid that something that was so good in a different game was just ruined for tedious bullshit. Microtransactions, they're everywhere, especially Satan's Cock, aka the Battle Pass. Before, it used to be when you bought something, you owned it. But now, with the magical Battle Pass, you buy it and then have to work for it, which is honestly a really good idea if you want to increase players interacting with your game over a long time. I have no problem with the Battle Pass when it's done right. It's an ingenious idea because when done right, it feels like you're unlocking stuff consistently while playing the game instead of just getting everything at once. Fortnite's Battle Pass, which I believe is the best example of a Battle Pass, at least every 10 levels you're getting a new skin or at least a variation of that skin, new dances and cosmetics and all types of pickaxes. I mean, not everything in the Battle Pass is a winner, but most of it is pretty good. Another thing about Fortnite's Battle Pass, it's easy enough to get XP that you just level up while playing the game, and you feel like you're consistently unlocking stuff, which is really important if you do a Battle Pass. Compared to other Battle Passes, Fallout's is not too bad. Actually, compared to other Battle Passes, I say about 90% of this stuff might actually see practical use. Power armor paints, weapon and armor paints, new stuff to build with, and guess what? Most of that is good shit. It's actually free too, hallelujah. While Fallout 76 may exceed in some areas, like the Battle Pass, I still tend to think it's the most money-hungry game in the industry right now. And that's because of one reason. Fallout first. Most AAA games have a subscription service. Fortnite's, for example, gives you a new skin every month and blah 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 amount of credits. But never have I ever seen a subscription for a video game allow you to cheat at the game. For $12 a month, the Fallout devs will allow you a private world, which is pretty much pointless because this world is so empty and killing any boss by yourself is fucking impossible. But on the other hand, you also get some useless Fallout First buildable or cosmetic, and also the power of God, aka the camp. But it's not so much the camp itself, but what's in it. This mini camp can be summoned with the power of God, and with a flick of my dick, I have a cooking station and a stash box, and the most broken item in the game, the scrap box. While the stash box has a limited carry weight, the scrap box doesn't, which makes your life so much easier, and the game so much better. When you can store all of your junk in one place instead of it taking up 80% of your stash box's space, it changes the game. Having this item versus not is literally game changing. In all the other Fallout games, you had one inventory to manage, and you could store all your shit in whatever storage you wanted, and they all had unlimited space. So since in Fallout 76, you can only store your items in one limited space stash box, instead of having to manage one inventory, the players, you now have to manage two inventory, the players and the stash box. But having this makes it so much easier to manage the stash box. It gets rid of what's taking up all the space in the first part, the junk. The best example was when I bought this and my friend Roger didn't. No one struggled with this problem more than Roger. While I had no problem storing whatever I wanted, Roger was constantly becoming over encumbered. Like every 5 minutes he had to stop and reorganize his stash box because he didn't have any room for anything. The only reason I have like fucking 12 days in this game is because I was waiting for Roger to reorganize his shit like every hour. It got so bad I had to beg him for me to hold his stuff so we could just play the game. It's not fair that Roger had to constantly fuck with his inventory when I could just slap down my tent with a scrap box in it whenever, wherever I wanted. After I canceled my subscription, I even started running into this problem. I was just collecting too much shit and was constantly reorganizing my stash box because I couldn't use the scrap box anymore. This item shouldn't be paywalled. Putting something this overpowered in a game behind a monthly paywall is just so scummy and greedy, it disgusts me. When the game was announced, Bethesda themselves confirmed that the Atom Shop would purely be cosmetic only. Since then, they've added carry weight boosters, hunger and thirst dampeners, repair kits, scrap kits, lunch boxes, banners, a reroll for challenges, and now this season, the all-new Battle Pass boosters. I actually had to go back into my script because I forgot 2 more of these. Camp expansion slots and special loadout slots. Jesus Christ. Am I supposed to just sit here and pretend you didn't lie to my face and let you pull this overpriced shit over on me? I don't think so. The Atom Shop is home to the most overpriced garbage in any video game. Let's take this sale they were having. 30% off everything is a great deal. This much for a couple of paintings and a blue door is okay, deal. Wait a minute. $12 for a fucking blue door? This BOS Reclaimed bundle comes with the power armor paint and weapons locker skin and a backpack for $8, which is a really good deal when you consider that the original price was fucking $25. That is more than one of Fallout 4's, Fallout New Vegas's, and Fallout 3's DLC. And the worst part is, that's not even 30%. There is basic shit they can do to make this an engaging live service, but it's like they don't even make any changes to the game for like 3 months at a time. But the Atom Shop is frequently seeing updates. Fucking something small you can do, change out the music. Add in some songs, take out some songs, change the music. Stop fucking having goddamn Sally talk about her brother every fucking 3 songs. Please, it's so annoying. The last thing I'd like to get off my chest is actually the best thing about this game. The community. The community and player base for this game are some of the nicest, most kind people in any online video game I've ever seen. The amount of love and free shit I received from higher level players when I started was unlike anything I've ever seen. Thank you to all the kind players and people that helped make this game that much more manageable to play. My theory is the more shitty the game, the more friendlier the people. The more shittier the situation, the more friendlier the people. If you want to actually see some more great things that this player base has done, go watch this video actually by the Fallout 76. I don't know who it's by. Go watch it though. It feels so good to get a lot of this off my chest. I've been trying and failing for the last 5 years to make this video. The only reason I feel like I could make this video was because I feel like now the game is in a playable state and could actually be considered a game. Overall, I have very mixed feelings on this game. For one, it's a game in a series that I just love to pieces, but on the other hand, I believe this game fundamentally fails at what makes the other games in the series special. It's just not Fallout. It's not a good role-playing game, and it's just a fundamentally flawed multiplayer game. And through the last year of playing this game, that only has become more and more apparent to me. In its current state, I'd give it a 3.5 out of 10. So I'm done. I'm done talking about this game. I'm done letting it hover over my head for so long. I'm done. In my opinion, this game fundamentally isn't Fallout. Thank you all for watching.